Do you hear me now? John, yeah? Do you guys hear me? Yes. Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. This is the way my computer appears today with double image on the screen. And I hope that you guys are going to hear me as well. I'm sorry about that. There's something going on with the computer. But thank you guys so much. Today is Friday and we made it again today. And so just let me know as we go along if I'm waking up or not, or there's a sound, so I can we can know what to do. But let's get on before the internet goes wacky with me again. So thank you, thank you all for being here. So today in One Global Movement Revolution Part 341, address from identity to influence, discovering your leadership path. And our sister, beautiful sister Yvonne, will not be here today because she has an appointment. So, Nancy, if you have the opportunity or you can hop on stage. Otherwise, you're still fine too. So, at One Global Movement, as we all know, we believe that leadership begins with your identity. Leadership begins with our identity. When a child knows their worth, when a woman knows her voice, and a youth knows their purpose, influence becomes inevitable. We don't just raise leaders, we awaken world changers who lead from the soul and serve from the heart. So one global movement is here. So for children, what do we know about children when it concerns finding their identity? One global movement, we help every child know that they have greatness within them, that they were born with greatness, that they are smart, that they can do anything they put their mind to it, and that we also help them to know the truth, not just being leaders, but knowing the truth through leaders. So you are special. We need to always affirm this to our children that they are special. You are special, you are smart, and you are strong. You are strong. And when a child believes in who they are and who they were born to be, and when they believe in the way that the parents are raising them, telling them this good thing, the children will act up. You will see the spark in their eyes, on their faces, and they will excel in anything that they're doing. So when a child believes in who they are, they begin to shine so bright, not just for themselves, but also all around. And so that time to light the world. Anywhere they go in the world, you can light the path for them. And for youth, what do you want to believe in themselves? One global movement starts with every young person discovering their path because we have those gifts. Children are born with greatness. We all are born with greatness. But if we don't have somebody that will help to awaken that voice, to awaken that truth in us, we will not know. And so we always need it, and this is why we are here for children. So when young people know who they are and why they matter in building the world, their voices become so powerful. They become so happy. They'll become so healthy. And so they are not just the future, they are the force that transform a lot of things in the world today. We cannot talk about the world without talking about these young people and children. And how about women? We have a lot to say about women too. So at Global Women, what we do, we honor every woman here regardless of their background, regardless of their orientation, regardless of their level of education. We honor every woman what they represent in the world, in their families, and in their community. So we honor every woman's journey. We all have different journeys in life, just like we have different gifts in life. We all come from different backgrounds and different orientations. So from silence to strength, a lot of women are gradually moving from silence to strength. Oh, thank you so much. Melanie, for some reason, my computer is a problem. That's why you see me here.
Yeah, I'm seeing two of you. Okay.
So, so when a woman embraces her truth, when a woman embraces who she is, it doesn't matter whether she's speaking in whispers or she paints silently or she raised children, she does not have a career. The fact that you are raising children, it means you have a career, and that is one of the most important careers in the world. So when a woman embraces her truth, her influence becomes unstoppable. She rises not just for herself, but for generations to come. What Dr. Maya Angelou said, um, a woman, I'm forgetting that, a woman, um, oh, why am I forgetting that? I'm forgetting it. Okay, she is encouraging women to to own their own voice, to own their own interest, to own whatever thing they are doing. It doesn't matter whether you're cooking a bowl of soup, you're cooking a pot of soup, or you are harvesting vegetables, or you're speaking to a young person in your community, or you're reading to children in the library. You are impacting the world some way. And it comes from identity, identifying who you are, what you are, why you are here, your purpose. And then you begin to apply it in everything, regardless of what the world says. And we all know that the world is always there to say something or to disturb in one way or the other. And so this is very, very important. So I'm going to let Sister Melanie speak because she is always there during her break. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome, sister. No, today I learned there's two of you.
Ah,
Two of the same.
for doing
Okay. So it's from identity to what is it called? Identity to
to influence,
influence. Okay.
to influence discovering your leadership path.
Yeah. Okay. So it's knowing who you are as a leader in the community. So you're identifying yourself in that sense. So, for example, you and I, Sister Yvonne, we are on the platform, and there's other people, John,
Mhm,
Sister Finn, Sister Yvonne Finn. So we know who we are in society, as you said, regardless of what people think, or you know. So we don't stay just there. We do something. When it comes to leadership, we don't have to be leaders itself, but in every walk of life, whatever we do, once we lead someone to something, a group to something, we are considered leaders. We don't have to have a group formed, right?
mhm,
Leadership is about everything. Identifying yourself is you're branding yourself more or less, right?
mhm, mhm,
So Malila,
mhm,
right? Malila, her identity was a student identity,
mhm,
and it was to do with the global advocate. So she identified herself first as a student, and she wanted the rights to education. So she found her identity by doing that, right? And she did survive attacks. And after speaking up, she became that type of person for young people. It's a leader, right?
mhm.
So it was from identity to help me out there again.
From yes, from identity to influence.
Yeah, so she influenced the students because they saw she fought, and she fought for education. So that was big influence on her part, and we thank her for that. And there are many, many examples. There's an example of another person, and I'm trying to remember her name, but there's so many people. The fact is, we are people in this life, and in our own lives, we have things that we can identify with, where we can influence others. Like we started listening first,
Yep.
For me, I can give an example for myself. I started listening to all the leaders, first by, listening to them in the chat, come, contributing in the chat. Then I decided to do something, take on my own and form a little group.
Mm-hmm.
All right. To help facilitate, even if I didn't know so much about it, but I learned in facilitating. I found my identity and I found my strength, and I knew that I could lead a group.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be a major group. It doesn't have to be people, liking you up or anything like that. But you're doing something of influence.
Mm-hmm.
And then in turn, what you become is an identity yourself. You're branding yourself that way because you are contributing, you're influencing others, and others are learning. And that's how it's like a rope.
Yep.
We hold on to that rope, we give the end to another person, they hold on, and we climb together,
Mm.
right?
Yep.
And I find a lot of that in unpassive people. Those who are hidden are now shining. So that is from identifying yourself to being a leader. And like I said, you don't have to have a group, but you're a leader, you're influencing in whatever way, whether it's in your creativity, whether it's in your small speech or big speech, whatever it is,
Yep.
right? There are many things that we can do in life, and we just have to have the courage to stand out, to come out and talk. Because I could speak, but I was afraid of speaking before. Even when I used to give speech in class in college, I would cry at the end because I'm fearful. The people are in front of me and I'm standing alone, and I'm starting to read with strength, but all of a sudden it turned to tears
Mm.
because you're inside, you're afraid. But after a while I took the brave, and the more I do it, the more I find I'm standing out, and I think that is influencing me and influencing others, right? Because
Right.
when other people see you doing it and they know that you were not the person who used to do that, they are going to follow through, and that's how you influence people. So I like that topic, Sister Yvonne, from identity, knowing who you are, taking the courage and the strength and boldness to come out, say something or do something, and then you stand out.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's how you know you're a leader, because others will follow you and they will do the same.
Yep.
So that's where the
Yep.
influence comes from.
The thing is, we want to be able to instill this, to really believe who we are, and believe in why we were created. If we really put this in every child and even reminding ourselves, that is where it starts. You were a child and then you start crying. All of it started like that. I used to cry a lot. I never knew that I can even speak in the presence of people until my grandmother started training me at a very young age to speak, to use my words. I prefer to die in silence, especially because I was so oppressed, I was beaten, you know. And so, but my grandmother taught me how to speak, to stand up, to speak with honesty, with humility, and then to believe in myself. Even if I make a mistake, I should still believe, because those mistakes is part of finding your identity. Because if you don't make those mistakes, you cannot find your true identity, which is what we are trying to normalize here in One Global Movement. Because a lot of people, and I'm guilty at one point, in our own insecurities or in our own fear or in our own limited belief that, oh, my child failed and I wasted money to pay for tuition, and we start talking to the child in a very in a downward manner. That's not their spirit. So we need to believe. When you believe, regardless of who says what, regardless of what the world says, if you believe in who you are, does not matter what you're doing, you are focused on you. You're doing what matters to you. And this is what we want to try, because the world is such a chaos that a lot of our children, you and I are adults, we can find a way from our experience to get back to that place of finding our identity, which will influence our path in life. But a lot of things don't if there's nobody to guide. So we are here to give the voice to these children so that they can come out and talk about what they are doing. They are it does not cause problems because a lot of kids are quiet. They have skills that they can talk about that we can also come together to help. So that's what we're encouraging. So from identity to influence, discovering your leadership path is very, very important. It is a very powerful and transformative concept. It speaks to the journey, not destination. It speaks to the journey that every individual, there is nobody that is exempted. Everybody is on an equal. Every individual, especially those aligned with mission-driven movement like one global movement. And we all have a mission. It's not just one global movement. You have a mission. That is why we come together. People who don't have a mission will not want to come together. We all have to. We have to look for ways to awaken this into people because it's being dormant. They don't know how to bring it out because of the way that one thing or the other. But if we are here with love, with authenticity, with believing in the children, really telling them, giving them this big hug, and really telling them that we love them, you're smart, you were born with greatness. We all need that. If they say to me, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm more tired, you know? So this is so important that we do. So we must take to become impactful leaders who uplift others. When we uplift ourselves, we believe in ourselves, then we can do it to another person with ease. So identity, this is the starting point. Identity. We all have an ID, a natural ID, and not sorry, my phone. We all have a natural height. We were born with it, but because of some one thing or the other, maybe our parents are not there, or maybe they are sick or something. Usually, kids don't get to the point where they can find that. But when we find it, you don't care who says what, and it's of the mind. We need to try imprint this in our minds, our children's minds to find themselves. So it's about knowing who you are, your value. What are your values? Do you believe in your values? What values do you want? What did your mother and your father do if you were not there? What is your surrounding about? Learn from your ancestors. Learn what values that cannot be taken away from you and replaced by other values that don't even identify you. So, what are your beliefs? What is your belief system? What are you passionate about? And what is your purpose? All of these things, when you see your identity, you begin to bring this thing in your for one this could mean encouraging women like we're doing, or maybe encouraging children or young people to build, regardless of what the world tells them, regardless of whether their mother or their father has enough money to sponsor them. You start small and you gradually find yourself and you keep moving with purpose, with what God has. And we need to understand your self-worth. And you and I, Melanie, and the audience, we are those who instill this self-worth in our children by doing it for ourselves. If your child sees you, mommy is always eating healthy. Mommy and daddy are always discussing the nice. Mommy and daddy love each other. Daddy is giving mommy a kiss and they're that is exactly what the children are going to take. Children are impressionable, they're going to imitate those things. And then we have to embrace our culture. We have to embrace our spiritual values and personal strength. What do you have that you can teach me? What do I have that I can teach you? What do we have that we can bring together like we're doing here? We are already doing it, and we need to keep doing more and more and better and better. So, Melanie, if you have anything, go ahead.
I know the time goes by so fast. 2 more minutes, three
Oh,
more.
go ahead.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
okay. It's okay. The point I want to make to everyone who's listening, even to ourselves, Sister Yvonne or Dr. Yvonne, I call you by your rightful title, and to the children all over, whoever is listening. The point I want to make is we do not have to have a huge platform for us to, to influence. All we need to have is to be clear that we are able, We are able, whenever we are able, we are clear, we have clarity that we are able to do something, and we do it with confidence,
Mhm.
and we do it even though with consistency. So
Yes.
continuously. Today is a sticky Friday because my tongue is sticky.
You want to go and fly.
Even on the phone, I'm saying something and oh my God.
It's okay. It happens.
But I make a joke out of it. So yes, as long as you know yourself, like I said, branding yourself is just knowing yourself in your own skin, being comfortable
Mhm.
and just doing something. And more you'll get the clarity. You might not be the eloquent person, but as long as you get it clear to someone who'll understand, or some people will understand, we are leading.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And branding, I love to brand because I know who I am in
Yes.
this life. I may not have all the money in the world, but I know who I am, right? And I take example from Mr. Mofara. Look how much he's been put down, how much he's in the media, in YouTube, and it's like they take him and they tear him apart. And they take people like John and other people you read about, they tear them down, but these people still stand.
Yep.
They know who they are, right?
Yes.
And they continuously do what they do, So this is where your your influence comes, and other people will be magnetized because they will keep following you. They'll wonder what you have that brings so many people to you,
Mhm.
right? So I really, really love the topic because that resonates with me, and I'm sure it resonates with you, Sister Yvonne, Dr. Yvonne, and many other people that I see on parts even elsewhere. They
Yes.
go from being silent to wow, all of a sudden, like including myself, and being vocal.
Mhm.
And I carry that with me to work, and ask questions when sometimes I used to be afraid because I was afraid of being fired. I was afraid. But then when you know yourself, you have to take the initiative, and other people like that in you, you
Yeah.
know?
I
Yeah.
really like when you keep branding yourself. And you
Yes.
branding yourself in that humble way, not to shout it to the world. Action, action matters. It speaks louder than words. Brand yourself. That's a beautiful word. Brand,
Yes.
keep branding. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have a big platform. No. The smallest platform is the biggest platform in the world because
Yeah.
it starts with a very good foundation. So let us support one another and keep branding ourselves and help our children. So
Sorry,
thank you.
I don't need to cut you off that way. I hate doing that, but I have to go.
Thank you so much.
But
I love
has
you.
been on,
Thank you
okay?
for
Love
supporting
you.
me.
Take care.
Yeah.
All right. Bye bye.
That was beautiful. Now my twin self is on the screen again. I'm really sorry about this. Something is going on with my computer here that won't let me take off my other image of the screen. So, but it's okay. So now we've talked about identity. Identity also means healing from trauma and reclaim your voice. A lot of us have gone through challenges in life. I am an example, and that's why I am here with One Dollar Movement. You reclaim yourself from trauma because no matter who you are, no matter who we are, there is one thing or the other that is going to happen to us that we need to reclaim ourselves from and take back our identity. And taking back your identity is doing what you've been called to do with purpose, determination, and like Melanie said, with consistency. Regardless of who says what, when you focus on what you're doing, when you focus on what you've been called to do, your identity is always going to be there and nobody can check in that identity. So we cannot influence the world if we do not know who we are. We need to let our children know they can never influence the world without knowing who they are. And and knowing who we are is a daily thing. You don't know yourself today and you think that you own yourself for the rest of your life. No, that's not what it is. Every day, who am I? What have I been called to do? What have I done today to make my purpose move forward so that I can keep my identity? It is very, very important. And then when we talk about influence is the outcome of knowing our identity. It is the outcome of knowing who you are. That is what influence is all about. It's the ability to positively impact others, shape change, and inspire transformation in yourself first, in your family, in your children, in your communities, and in the nations, beginning with your nation. So not by power title. That's why here we talk about we are not here about titles. No. We are here with a purpose. We are here because we know who we are, we know what we are doing. And so, but we have to do this authentically. You got to do it authentically, authentic leadership and service. Then you must have discovered your leadership path through your identity and influence. So true influence flows from a place of service, not a place of a CEO or a millionaire or look at me, I have this mansion, I'm driving the best car in the world. No, it comes from service. And service, every one of us, all our children can offer service of one kind or the other because it doesn't take uh, education, it does not take any titles to be of service to the world. What it takes is your good heart, and it takes your love to impact humanity. That is all it takes, which we all can do. And that's what we are doing here. Otherwise, there'll be no reason why we spend our time, resources to be here in one global. And this is very important. So, true influence flows from a place of service rooted in purpose. A service that is rooted in purpose, you're not just doing things anyhow. You're doing it because you know what you're doing. You're doing it because you have the purpose and you were born for the purpose. So discovering your leadership path is very, very important. You know, very is the process. It's not like something that you do today and then you don't do it tomorrow. It's a process. And you're not just looking at the destination. It's a process and it is a lifelong process. So the growth journey of becoming a leader through self-awareness. Self-awareness, if you don't know who you are, then you cannot afford to impact the lives of other people. And so it also comes through education, education, education. Sister Melanie talked about the example of Malala Yousafzai because she has this strong purpose that she has discovered along the way because of owning who she are. She knows and she knew what she wanted in life regardless of the community that wanted to force her into marriage, that no education for the young girl, she put her skills, her heels in to say, I am going to get the education that I need, and I'm also going to help the young women get an education. And she did that, despite the fact that she was almost killed, but she did it, and she's still doing it until this day, and she is a very young woman. So that is very important. So education and empowerment. If we don't empower ourselves and our children, we will not be able to do anything. So, and then we talk about mentorship. Always mentorship. Ask questions. We know, like my grandmother said, ask. Don't keep quiet. If you keep quiet, we will not know what you need help with, or we will not know if you want us to listen to your story, to your achievements, to your successes, and because when you share these things, you will discover that one or two things can also help you when people listen to you. So this is very important. I'll talk about collaboration together, coming together. You do your thing, I do my own. When we put all what we're doing together, we impact the world in a very huge way. And then community action. What are you doing in your community? What are you doing? Are you going to the library to read to children? Are you helping to clean the roads that the government built? Are you uh, uh, helping to feed the community? What are you doing? We have one or two things that we do. Are you teaching students like young people that don't have maybe the father class or the father they don't want to do mentor them, or a father that is unable to mentor uh, to help the children? Are you helping them? So this is what we can do. So how can one global movement make this a reality? We talk about always empower identity through education. That is how one global movement can help. We empower identity through education and healing. We all need to heal from one thing or the other. It's not just physical ailment. We need to heal from our emotional disturbances. We need some of us need to heal from psychological challenges, mental health difficulties. Some of us need to heal from uh, abandonment. We need to heal from divorce. We need to heal from a physical friendship. A lot of things that we need to heal, and it's a daily thing. It's a continuum. We have to do it every single day. So we can provide uh, programs that help individuals explore their identity through storytelling, fun, engaging storytelling that we can tell, and then we can cover identity. And then we talk about emotional healing and trauma informed care. We can help, like through our culture, what is called trauma informed care. We care through our cultural values and to help people that are going through trauma. And then life skills and self development workshops. Like what we are doing in one global movement, um, like now we're taking students that have been approved by their parents to the one government garden and teach them how to plant, how to sow a seed, nurture it, practice patience until it gets ready, and they harvest it to eat or they can sell. So we're planning on planting of flowers that during planting season, maybe next year, these kids can come together and plant flowers. We take them to the farmers market and sell. That is investment and the help. This will help them to discover themselves, their identity, and their purpose in life, and also their path of leadership. So we help the world's future leaders remember who they are, and the world's future leaders are who the children and the young people. So they know who they are before the world tells them who they are. It's your responsibility, my responsibility. We don't want our children to go out into the world to tell them who they are. We want to tell them right there in our home who they are before they step out. And if somebody tells them something else, they already know who they are and nobody can shake in their foundation if we do that. And so leadership development for children, women, and youth with a focus on it has to focus on ethics, empathy, and social responsibility. Because a lot of leadership, if there's no ethics there, there's no empathy and social responsibility, then we are not leading in the right way. We talk about public speaking and advocacy. Our one global ambassadors are in a position to do this thing, just like we can do it alongside with them. We talk about entrepreneurship and innovation for community change, like 5 Tips per Child program that the One Global Government is doing, the seed program, and a little token scholarship that we are starting with to help, especially children where their parents are unable to help them. So those are the kind of things that we talk about. We start small and eventually we grow bigger and bigger. But it's good to start it right now. So we need to teach our children to know that influence begins when one life is uplifted by another, which is what we are doing here. And I'm really grateful for each and every one of you that is contributing here, either with love, present, prayer, kindness, whatever, towards one global movement so that we can help these children well. So we also create pathways for leadership in action. Leadership in action is not sitting in your office and trying to tell people what to do. We have to be role models. We have to be examples. You speak with example. Children will understand us when we speak with action, not when we are preaching to them. No child returns anything if we just preach, but they will return a lot if we speak with action, and that action has to be spiced with love, with affirmations, with prayer, and with a lot of things. These children would understand, you know, from your identity to influence through discovering your leadership pathway. There's no other way to go about it but that. So we create pathways for leadership, offer platforms where our children, like this one global platform where our children and young people can apply their leadership skills. That's why we always say here that encourage your children to come here and speak. We want to build the students' profiles in the world. They can come and speak about what they're doing. Are they going for swimming? Are they going to cook a meal for the family? Are they going to travel, adventures? Are they going to launch a project? What are they doing? We can bring them here to come and do it. And then we can like ambassador program, which we already have that one here in one global movement. And then community initiatives, liaising with other communities and other organizations so that their horizon can expand, which is very, very good. And then digital campaigns led by youth voices. Digital campaigns, they can help us to post things on the internet because they will listen to children better than they will listen to you and I. We can help them post these things, but with the guidance of their parents, if they are not up to 18 years. Even if they're 18 years, it's still a good thing to guide them because there's a lot of cyber attacks and cyber insecurity nowadays. We need to guide them with. And then what is our mission here? Our mission is not just to raise leaders. That's not what one global is all about. But to create voices that echo justice, voices that will echo compassion, and voices that would echo youth, so that wherever our children go in the world, they will fit in. They will know what to do. We want to create a world that looks out for one another. And then collect. We talk about uh, cultivating a collective leadership. We can foster a collaborative culture where leadership is shared, like we're sharing the one global movement. And then intergenerational mentoring, like in my culture or the African culture, where we pass around folklore and storytelling and the culture and tradition from one generation to the other through a mantle of hope that has been selected and trained to carry that to the next generation. We can do that too. And that is history. That is called writing. We can write them books. We can tell them stories. We can do whatever it takes. We can record it, especially with today's high technology. We can also do that and make it for our children. We talk about global partnership. Like one global movement is going to be partnering with a lot of organizations, especially those that have been doing it for a long time, so that we can also learn from them. So projects that allow co-creation and shared impact. No one lives alone. There is no one in this life that can ever live alone. So one movement is a circle of right leaders. We are in a circle. You go this way, you will meet somebody. You come this way, you will meet somebody. So we are working in a circle to help children, young people, and women lift each other up. Even we teach our children. When our children come back from school, we ask them, how is school? Can you please tell me about your classmates and are there any challenges that some kids are facing that we can help? We can ask them because our children watch other children go through a lot of challenges, and sometimes if we are not being friendly and loving and kind to our children, they will not be able to expose those things. And so we can help. Maybe in school where a child is able to pay for their lunch, but the parents do not pay for their lunch, and they don't get to eat healthy food. We want to be able to come together to do that. How about giving oily and global movement fresh vegetables to the schools to help the schools so that they can eat healthy? So that's the way. So in summary, from identity to influence is the heartbeat of one global movement. We together, we empower children, young people, and women, individuals, especially women, children, and young people, to discover who they are, who they were born to be, to grow into who they are meant to be, and rise as leaders who transform their world through purpose-driven programs, leadership training, and global unity. All of us here can walk with these children on the path from personal healing to global impact. And when we talk about children, we are talking about parents as well. The adults around the children, because you cannot talk about the child without talking about the parents, the adults, the aunties, the uncles, and everyone around the children, all the caregivers. Everyone is involved. We can't never talk about children in isolation. So thank you guys so much for listening. You know, from from identity to influence, find your leadership path is a very, very important topic. So thank you guys so much. And John and Shri and all Abdul Salam and all who are men here, Father's Day is coming up. I want to start encouraging all of the men here to come and say something, even for 10 seconds, for for 1 minute on that day, because it's your day. I feel like fathers are not being celebrated enough. That's how I feel. And so, coming from a family of boys, I'm the only girl. I like to celebrate men a lot. And I have a son too. And so I feel like we need to celebrate fathers more for the wonderful job that they're doing in the world and also to see how we can support them. And so I ask that you guys come on stage here on the last Friday, Father's Day will be on a Sunday. Please come here and say something about what you think about Father's Day and what do you think as a father, what are you doing as a father that you can hopefully learn from. So please. And John, maybe you prefer to sing on that day as well, please. All right. So thank you guys so much. Let me appreciate our audience here. Thank you so much to our managing director for the wonderful work that you're always doing here supporting children. Oh, I really appreciate you. And from identity to influence, discovery, your leadership part in today's topic, feel free to comment your ways, your thoughts, and ideas. Certainly. We have Nimai Kumar. If you are new here, sir, we welcome you into the global family. We are here for children. And this is also a reminder, if you haven't put the thumbs up, please like this video and also share it, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Thank you. And we also have our Facebook page, even though since I was not here to put the link, if you go to One Global Women Facebook page, you can also like and follow the page so that we get more resources for our children. Thank you so much. Hello, Nancy. How are you? Oh, wow. The dancing is back with dancing moves. Thank you so much, Nancy, for what you're doing. Thank you. And Nancy, I think you need to check your WhatsApp. Your WhatsApp. I left you a message. I'm sure that you're busy. You haven't checked. I left your voice message there. Thank you so much. And Hamid, how are you? Thank you so much for being here and for supporting children worldwide. We highly appreciate it. We have Kirsty V. Warren. How are you, sir? Thank you so much. I love you all. That's on Positive Family. We love you too as well. Thank you so much for supporting children. And this is Cam Campbell Show. How are you? Thank you so much. If you're new here, you're welcome to this global family. We highly appreciate you for supporting children. All right. Thank you so much for confirming me. My computer was a disturbance today. Okay, let's go down here. We have Nime. How are you? Thank you so much for us today. Thanks you for supporting children worldwide. Then we have three Chandra. How are you, Chandra? It's been a while. Thank you so much for joining us here today. We highly appreciate you for supporting children. And we have Gagan. How are you, sir? Thank you for supporting us all the time. We appreciate you. And what is the answer? Yvonne, you are on two screen. It is affecting the sound. Oh, if you use one. John is trying to take me off one of the screen. It won't do any good. I don't know what is happening with the stream yard. I'm really sorry for the disturbance, please. And we have Circle Malaki. Thank you so much, sir, for supporting children. We're going to make it better. I'm going to contact StreamYard to see what we can do about this. Thank you so much. And Sir, Isha, thank you so much, sir, for always supporting children, women, worldwide. Appreciate you. And John says, JJ9, hashtag JJ9, hashtag Bhutan, hashtag I am the the teen mind I have hashtag high for humanity. Second one. Thank you. And Sir Ashok Shakia. Shakia. How are you, sir? If you're new here, you're welcome into this global family. We highly appreciate you for joining us and supporting children. Be sure to share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to receive everything that we do here. Many of you, Makarani, sister, both are you. Good morning and evening, sisters. Happy birthday, myself. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you so much for letting us know. And we wish you many more good years. Thank you. And we have our brother, Shady Jan. Thank you so much, sir, for always supporting us here. We highly appreciate you. And we have Rams Prasad. How are you, sir? If you're new here, you're welcome here. We appreciate your presence here for supporting women and children worldwide. Thank you. And we have Geez, Akar. How are you, sir? Thank you so much for being with us today. We highly appreciate your support and your love for children. And Sir Abdul Sattar, Salem Alaikum, sir. Thank you so much for bringing us this blessing every time that you're here. We highly appreciate you. And we have Hanu Hanjo Nomola. Uh, you, you're writing in Hindi? Well, but thank you so much for being here. Thank you for loving us. We appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe, share, and turn on the notification bell and join us next time. Thank you so much. And then we have Snell Ojala. How are you, sir? Thank you for always supporting women and children here in Global Movement. Thank you. We have uh, Jakula Santosh. Thank you, sir. If you're new here, you're welcome, and we appreciate you for being here today. Thank you so much. Come again. And our beautiful Nancy family, don't forget to press the big thumbs up, subscribe on the notification bell, and share with families and friends. Thank you so much, Nancy, for always reminding. Okay, let's go down here. We have Nelson here. How are you? Thank you for being with us today. Highly appreciate you. Thank you. And we go down. All right. We've come to the end here. I would like to say thank you to Mel Ano for joining on the panel. I know. I was so happy that she joined. Thank you so much. But you're still here now. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. I want to pray and wish you a very and with you, your family, your children, let us know next week what you've done for the weekend for the children. But only next year, I invite you to think about joining us on stage on Father's Day. start preparing for it and with some questions to ask. So thank you guys so much. I wish you all a wonderful, fun weekend. I love you. Bye-bye.